Greetings out there in TV land. No, I'm just playing. This is my review of The Green Lantern, the movie. I know most of you have probably already seen it and made your own reviews of it. I'm just here to reinstate what everybody has been thinking. Okay, here we go. Okay, I went and saw The Green Lantern the day it came out. Okay, the storyline, good. Concepts for everybody, good. Overall, but there was little nitpicky things that I'd like to get into. One being the CG suit that everybody has been literally talking about and irritated about. It's just, ugh. Okay, they could have done without the CG suit. They could have just kept it the original like they had with everything else. Everything else looked pretty original, down, everything just there. Why they had to make his suit glow instead of the outside of him glow is beyond me. That was the whole gist of him going through space. Now, when he was in space, somehow he didn't have the glow over him. So it kind of irritates me because how could he breathe in space if the glow wasn't around him to protect him? That kind of irritated me a little bit. Everything everything had their own little nitpicky things. Everything just starting off with Kilowog. The original concepts for Kilowog were pretty good. Um, when he had his tusks in the original comics, they were good. When they tried to bring it into the film and the overall finished product for his concept, Kilowog, his tusks were more, you know, close to his face. They didn't extrude outward to make him more alien esque. Um, and Michael Clark Duncan as the voice was pretty good. I like him as the voice. Is it was really deep, raspy tone. Very bass tone voice. And he was one of those characters that you feared more than anything. But he had to be like that because he was the Green Lantern the trainer. And then you had to bring in also Tamar Ray, which had a very British sounding, but at the same time wasn't British. It was very intelligent sounding voice that they picked an actor for to play the voice of Tamar Ray. I didn't really like his barrel chestedness. He had very bulky chest. Then his torso, his lower torso was very small and slender. His overall body was just slender, and then his chest was just big. It was unnecessary. He was humanoid, but at the same time he was more fish-like. He was mixture between humanoid, fish, and bird all in one. But to bring in that little um, his barrel chest and then his reverse legs at the bottom, how they went, like dun dun, you know, that kind of like dinosaur legs a little bit, like bird legs. I can see how they would put that in there, but in the original comics, it was not in there. He didn't have bird type legs. Um, Evan Sewer was pretty good. The concepts for him, I like how they got the texture of his skin all muscle looking, like his actual muscles and tendons. I like how they put that in there, and his voice was very commanding, just like in the comics. Everybody looked up to Avon Sewer for leadership. And then you have Sinestro. The shade of his skin was pretty good. Oh, everything was mostly good, except for the fact that he looked young. He's not young. He's one of the oldest Green Lanterns of them all, if not older than most, except for Avon Sewer. He looked very young. They could have got an older actor or made him look older. Either one, it doesn't really matter. They could have done that. Running on time here. Um, the concepts for the green energy was pretty good. I like that they made it solid. They didn't make it too smoke like looking like they did in the trailer when you actually the first trailer that came out when he threw his fist and all you saw was like a smoky looking fist hitting all three of the people that were trying to mug him and trying to beat him up. Um, Hal, Hal Jordan in general, the actor that played him. I'm not a big fan of him. I, I mean, I don't know why. I've never been a big fan of him. Possibly because I can't see him playing Hal Jordan, but at the same time, Hal Jordan was cocky. But then again, you have him playing Deadpool. I could see him playing Deadpool because Deadpool. Wade Wilson. He was always cocky. Merc with the mouth. That's what his nickname was. So I could see him playing him, but Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan, not so much. And I know Hal Jordan in the script, he was very immature. Then he kind of toned it down towards the end and realized where his place was as the first human to ever be picked or being chosen to be a Green Lantern. It's a very great honor in other, alien cultures, but in our culture, we're very, very arrogant. So I guess you can probably put him, but it's just flip flopping from DC to Marvel to DC to Marvel. Every character, Michael Clark Duncan being, Kilowog, then he was in Daredevil, he was Kingpin. It's just too much flip flopping from place to place. Hammond, the guy with a really big forehead that everybody probably knows from the trailers. Um, he plays the scientist that gets infected with fear, the fear element. He didn't really play a big role until the very end. When he was, when he took, Blake Lively's character. He basically took her hostage. He didn't. Other than that, he didn't really play a big role. He did eventually die, but I mean that was like anticlimactic, anyways. Parallax, everything was good with him. Like I liked that they went back into his story way back when he was still a guardian, and the fact that he actually uh, wanted the yellow element of fear, and he was consumed by it. I like that they brought that into there to kind of show people that have never seen Green Lantern, like this is what happened to him, and this is how Parallax became who he is. Um, Other than that, everything was good. I like that they're starting to in the last decade, they've started to bring out more of the comics and the childhood cartoons that we all have come to love at my age, that we've all grown up with. I like how they're bringing them to live action, so that way we can see what it would look like. Uh, Transformers, all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies. Um, GI Joe, which was a big disappointment, but I mean, it was worth a try. So I mean, I give everybody props, and the concept of it was really good. And well, my name is Bryce, and thanks. This is my review of the Green Lantern the movie.